When the Tour de France parcours was announced, everybody hoved in on stage 13. Destination Périgueux, just 10.9 kilometres, and a day of absolute hell and maybe massive consequences. There's a reason we don't do mountains time trials very often. The gaps can be huge, the impact enormous. Ambitions would be cast down the mountain, which make up most of today's stage. While all the stars were on the rollers, they were trying to keep cool as well as temperatures rose up towards 29 Celsius. It felt hot, but the action would be even more so. Pogacar, our race leader, with an ice fan. He would be last to go. And this is what he and everyone else had to take on. 2 kilometres of relative flat compared to what was about to come, and then all of a sudden an enormous test with ramps up to 16%, you heard that right, until you get to the line and possible redemption. Not a nice affair at all, but great entertainment, and what a day we had. Well, the early benchmark had been set by Lennart van Eetveld, but when Australia's Luke Plapp came off the ramp, he'd clearly got a free hand from Jayco, and he was in destructive mode. In fact, his pace was so good, we were beginning to wonder whether this might be a winning run of the day. Lennart Martinez. Little Lenny. Well, he set off in his polka dots. He'd been blown away on the opening week. He thought he was going to blow away the times ahead of him, but Plapp stayed in the hot seat. Geraint Thomas, likewise, giving away 3.5 minutes by the line. Former winner on his last ever time trial. While that baton perhaps had been handed elsewhere, how would the Yates brothers go? Well, Simon was clearly looking after Vingegaard and had that in mind. Adam posting a brilliant time out there, second quickest at that moment. And then some of the big guns started to roll out. Matthew Jorgensen as well. How much license would he have? With a big mountains day to come, we worried that many would be dialed back in support ultimately of Vingegaard in the days to come, but Jorgensen set out to impress and did so. Second quickest at that point. Then Primož Roglic. Now this was something of a conundrum. He got himself into an aero position and he never left it, even on the climbs, and then reminded us what a great time trialist he is. This was like dialing the clock back. Roglic was absolutely magnificent, and when he came to the line, it was time to give Plapp a tap on the shoulder and say that you're in my seat, mate. The hot seat, that is. Kevin Vauquelin has been roundly applauded, of course he has, by the French fans. It was deafening. He had a good run as well. Top 10 at that point. Roglic still standing loud and proud. And then Florian Lipovic, a man who's helped Germany fall back in love with all things cycling. He has been amazing. Third home behind Pogacar and Vingegaard. That was yesterday. How would he do today? Couldn't beat Roglic, which showed the class of both of them. After a tough day yesterday for Lipovic, he still had the strength to throw it to the line. Roglic, though, still in the hot seat when Remco Evenepoel came to the ramp. After his exploits in Paris, everybody loves Remco Evenepoel in France. He speaks perfect French as well, but it wasn't a perfect day for him. Had an adapted bike halfway between a time trialling steed and a road bike. It did him no good whatsoever. He was struggling out there, giving away a boatful of time, and his craft was sinking. Evenepoel missing a few gears late on as well. It just didn't help his cause, and his confidence must have sank. And it was about to get worse because Jonas Vingegaard was on his case. Vingegaard with something to prove, and boy did he do that. Absolutely fully committed right from the very start. He was in a charging mood, and when the time started to come in, the Great Dane was looking amazing. Every single pedal stroke counts, especially when you start the day with a huge deficit, and look at that. Roglic's time had been amazing. What on earth was Vingegaard doing? Tearing up the timing sheets, that's what It was a brilliant, brilliant performance. Yes, he found Evenepoel stricken out there, passed him with just 50 metres to go. How heartbreaking would that be? And look at the clock, truly green against his name. Vingegaard reminding him of his greatness. There was, of course, still one man to come. Our glorious leader, carrying bandages after a tumble 2 days prior. And Tadej Pogacar set off the ramp on a standard road bike. No time trialling position available to him. This was about raw power, and he turned it on. Roared round every single corner. He was up. Bearing in mind others had been on TT steeds, don't forget, on that flatter part. It didn't matter. He has the power. He has the poise. He has the belief. And frankly, everyone else has the fear. What would be the margin by the end? Tadej Pogacar said he'd felt fatigued at the last, but the crowd and the timesheets just spoke to him. And he has spoken to everybody. Look at that. We have somebody here who is already one of the all-time greats. How long will his reign last? At the moment, he's right in the middle of it, it seems. A genius at work in all departments. What a privilege.
Super happy. This time trial was quite big question mark from the start of the already in December for me, and I wanted everything to be perfect, and the team delivered. Yeah, I was really targeting to do from start to finish all out, and just yeah, try to smash as much as possible on pedals, and yeah, I almost blew up in the end, but I saw the timer on the top, and I was it gave me an extra push because I saw that I'm gonna win.
Well, in a certain sense, he has blown up other people's ambitions. Just look at the gaps here. Tadej Pogacar leads this race by 4 minutes and 7 seconds from the field. Okay, Evenepoel holding on to a podium place for now. Florian Leifovitz knocking on that door. Oscar Onley moves up a place into the top 5. And so, what of tomorrow? It just doesn't stop. In fact, maybe Pogacar is just getting started. Just look at what we're dealing with. The Tourmalet. I hope you said your prayers. We have the Col d'Espana. We have as well the Beresud. And we also, of course, have the Big Bath at the end of the day. Luchon, Super Bagnères. Be frightened, everybody, and join us tomorrow to see yet more pain and glory.